Hello everyone, and welcome to today's installment of Beyond the Mask. I just wanted to say that this will be my last video until after Christmas, so a very Merry Christmas to all of you, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. In today's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at the potential original plans for Halloween Ends. More specifically, we're going to be taking a look at how the Halloween Ends novelization may use some of the unused plans for Blumhouse's original version of the movie in their first chapter. Blumhouse's Halloween Trilogy originally was intended to be a back-to-back event, which was changed due to COVID-19 and the delays in filming, causing demand for rewrites to happen. In order to get this information, I had to take a closer look at the cast members' comments about the third installment way back when Halloween Kills was released. The novelization of Halloween Ends actually took us back to 2018 and showed us some elements of the story that we didn't see on screen in the latest and final movie of the trilogy. So how was the original trilogy meant to end? What exactly was Halloween Kills setting up that didn't come to pass, and was this truly meant to be the end of Michael Myers? Sit back and relax as I talk you through the original plans for Halloween Ends. When Blumhouse decided to reboot the Halloween franchise, the decision to create their own trilogy was a clear goal straight away. They intended on 3 movies back to back year after year. Unfortunately, this didn't actually come to pass, as COVID-19 struck and caused numerous delays in filming, release of Halloween Kills, the second installment, and caused the world to come to a standstill. Since Halloween Ends release, the movie detached itself from the previous 2 and instead seemingly approached a new storyline altogether, with minor time given to wrap up the storyline of the first 2 movies. This, however, wasn't always meant to be the case. The initial plan for this trilogy was for the events of 2018 to span 3 movies. During an interview with THR following the release of Halloween Kills, Andy Matichak, who played Allison in the movies, confirmed that Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends were initially intended to be filmed back to back, indicating that the movies were set to be filmed on the same night. This would have meant the trilogy would have dealt with Michael Myers' death on the same night in 2018. Interestingly, the elements that Halloween Kills set up actually appear to become dropped with little explanation as the movie draws to a close. The cliffhanger for Halloween Kills' alternate ending insinuates that Laurie was going to hunt Michael down once and for all, following the death of Karen. What's more, the mob mentality that was stirred up in Kills seemingly ended with a tough lesson being learned that brutality wouldn't work on Michael. So, if Halloween Ends was to be set up on the same night as 2018 and Kills, then how would it have ended? The details on this are slim, however the novelization for Halloween Ends actually takes us back to that night, and the events that followed could have easily have been an outline for how the original third entry could have gone, in my opinion. Following the discovery of her daughter's death, Laurie was going to attempt to find a stronger gathering of followers to hunt Michael down. The news of him killing the mob from Kills spread very quickly, and following Karen's death, he disappeared from the house when the police arrived on Lambkin Lane to search for him. Laurie staged a town-wide hunt for Michael, arming herself with everything she could find. Frank Hawkins, who was initially bedridden, would have somehow attempted to talk Laurie out of the hunt. The death of her daughter would have consumed Laurie. She would become completely lost in her own grief, and vowed to, as she put it, take Michael's head as he took hers. Rather than face her boogeyman with the intention of surviving, Laurie would make peace with the fact that both would likely die in order for her to finish Michael once and for all. Frank would talk her out of it, as Laurie states in the novelization of Halloween Ends that Frank attempted to bring her back during her hunt for Michael in 2018. Michael would have continued killing as he did in Kills, but would have been severely injured. His injuries at the hands of the mob, I believe, allowed a weakened state to take over Michael, so he would have been easier to kill for Laurie when the time came. This way, the mob mentality of Evil Dies Tonight would have been a poetic entry, as their involvement wasn't to kill the evil, but to contribute to weakening it so that it would be easier to be killed by its true enemy, that being Laurie Strode. In another interview from 2021, David Gordan Green stated that Michael would end in the final installment of the trilogy. This was before anything surrounding Halloween Ends had been decided, and the original plan for the movie to take place on Halloween night in 2018 was still in place, indicating it was always the plan for Michael to die in the third entry. Laurie's original fate is unknown, however, the recurring theme in the first two installments is that Laurie is prepared to sacrifice herself to defeat Michael. If I were to hazard a guess, I'd say it's likely that they were intending on killing both of them off in the original plans for the movie, with both being severely weakened, and ending the story the way it started, with Laurie and Michael. The third entry we got seems detached from the first two installments in the trilogy, with the story taking off in an entirely different stride than the first two intended. Would you like to have seen the original plans for Halloween Ends, or were you perfectly happy with the version that we got? Comment below and share your thoughts. As usual, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, I'm coming for you, Michael.